The black walnut averages 90 feet and is such a valuable tree that people have used helicopters to go in at night and steal them. Black walnuts are a high value wood. They grow very straight, so they are coveted for lumber. Also, they are a very important forest species in that they support many species of wildlife, including chipmunks and wild turkeys, and even bears. Hi, it's Amy from Fox Run. Today I'm doing something a bit different. So, we are talking about both planting and foraging black walnuts in the same video. Black walnuts produce a fabulous nut. They have a stronger, earthier flavor than English walnuts, although some people find them a bit bitter. But the big caveat is that it takes black walnuts an average of 8 to 10 years to produce nuts. Black walnuts are a common native tree to eastern and central North America and often grow around creeks and other moist areas. You may have the trees on your property, or you may see them in nearby parks. Along roadways, they make such a mess and pose a danger to drivers that many communities encourage them being gathered. Many people don't realize that black walnuts are a good cash crop. Whether you forage or grow them, you can gather them in their husk and take them to weighing stations. This webpage is from Hammond's Company, which has weighing stations in numerous states where they give you cash for the walnuts. My older son did this one year and earned $400, to which he purchased an Oberhasli goat, and he and that goat made reserve champion at the state fair. Black walnuts are easy to spot, obviously during the fruiting season. Their dark gray bark is also unique with thick furrows that run vertically. The leaves are long compound leaves, and a stem can hold up to 23 leaflets arranged opposite each other. They flower in spring. The male flowers are drooping catkins, and the females are more of a straight spike. They are self fertile with both male and female flowers, but produce more nuts when cross pollinated by wind. So, whether you are growing or foraging, you do need to use caution when handling them. The husk is very gooey and produces a black stain, and it doesn't come off easily. In fact, the Native Americans and early settlers used it to dye fabrics and wood furniture. Lemon juice will help lighten stains but won't totally remove them. So wear gloves when handling the husks. Harvesting can be done by picking them up off the ground or using a harvesting device where you roll it along the ground and it traps the walnuts inside. So there are some black walnut lookalikes out there in the woods. The butternut tree is in the same family and produces a delicious nut as well. These trees are not as common and have been widely affected by a disease called butternut canker. Check with your extension agent because in some states it's illegal to forage the nuts due to their population decline. Another similar looking tree you may see out in the woods is the Osage orange. No, it's not an orange. You may also have heard them called hedge apples because they make a good fence. They produce a round but bumpy fruit. The Osage fruit is not eaten primarily because it tastes terrible to humans. Livestock typically won't eat it either, but there is a concern that large livestock like cattle can choke on them. So, on to growing black walnuts. You can forage black walnuts and husk them and plant the nuts. You do want to do a float test to make sure seeds are viable before planting. First, remove the husks. Place nuts in a bucket of water. Give them a couple minutes. Discard floating nuts. Save nuts that sank to the bottom for planting. Put some holes in a 5-gallon bucket. Fill it with lightweight potting soil and plant 2 nuts that passed your float test. Plant them about 2 inches deep and water them in well. Black walnuts need a cold period, so store the buckets outside over the winter with a wire covering to protect them from the squirrels. You can also store whole nuts in your refrigerator to give them a stratification period. Place them in a plastic bag with some moist sand. Leave them in the fridge for 3 months. You can buy seedlings from companies like Fedco and Starks. There are hybrids and cultivated varieties out there that are smaller, like only 60 feet, and produce nuts in the 7 to 8 year range. You can also purchase a tree that is 4 to 5 years older. It's going to be a lot bigger, but expect those prices to be pretty high for the larger trees, and those larger trees can be harder to transplant. Walnuts like to be in full sun. One reason they grow so tall, and they need a pH of 6 to 6.5. Black walnuts are fast growers. Make sure the soil stays moist around them and mulch well with aged compost. While they often grow in forests, they do well in a field or large yard where they provide nice shade for humans and animals. The nuts are a bit smaller than the typical English walnut, but they are fabulous in fudge and brownies. And of course, with flapjacks, you can also use them in breads and pies. I hope this video has been beneficial. Please boop that like button and subscribe for more gardening and wildlife videos. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous day.